So the next one is a book I got because it sounded really interesting, and that is The Floating World, and I think the sequel comes out this October, so I've got to read this pretty fast. But here's the summary for that. Sun Ho lives in the underworld, a land of perpetual darkness. Next soldier, he can remember little of his life before 2 years ago, when he woke up alone with only his name and his sword. Now he does odd jobs to scrap by, until he comes across a score of a lifetime. A chest of coins for any mercenary who can hunt down a girl who wields silver light. Meanwhile, far to the east, Rin has cheerful and spirited acrobat traveling and performing with her adopted family. But everything changes during one of the festival performances when the village is attacked by horrific human-like demons. In a moment of fear and rage, Rin releases a blast of silver light, a power she has kept hidden since childhood, and kills the monster. But her efforts are too late to prevent her adopted family from suffering a devastating loss, or to save her beloved uncle from being grievously wounded. Determined to save him from succumbing to the poison wound, Rin sets off over the mountains where the creature came from, and from where Rin herself fled 10 years ago. Her past sets her on a collision course with Shono, but he doesn't realize she's the girl that he and hundreds of other swords for hire are looking for. As the two get closer through their travels, they come to realize that their pasts and destinies are far more intertwined than either of them have imagined. So yeah, that sounded like really awesome. It kind of reminds me of like some kind of anime or something. I don't know why, but it made me want to pick it up and read it, so I did. And if the author sounds familiar, Axie Ho, that's because she did, The Girl Fell Beneath the Sea. Sorry. And yeah, can't wait to get to this. And then the next 4 books I got are books from the Twisted Tale series, but the difference between these is that they're usually only UK exclusives. So I was able to get a hold of them, and it took a long time for them to get to my home, but I finally got them. And the first one is Princess of Thieves, and it is a twisted tale of Disney's Robin Hood, and it is what if Maid Marian were the real outlaw. And it says, returning from an extended trip abroad, Maid Marian finds that not much about her beloved England remains the same. Her best friend Robin has been banished, her beloved uncle King Richard is dead, and the village of Nottingham and its citizens have been imprisoned by taxes. With the help of her lady maid, Lady Cluck, Marian decides to take matters in her own paws. She's determined to help all the villagers while also solving the mystery surrounding her uncle's death. Deep in the woods, she finds Robin and his merry men. Will they help Marian with her plan, or leave her and Lady Cluck to head on their own? So I'm interested to see this one because in the Twisted Tale anthology series, there was like a short story that was similar to this premise, but it was by a different author. So I like to see how this author does their interpretation of this twist. And I think that's actually a pretty good idea if Disney wants to kind of get on that, is taking some of those Twisted Tales from the anthology and having another author redo them. Or maybe even taking the Twisted Tales that are already out themselves and redoing them. I would like to maybe see what other authors would do with, say, like Conceal Don't Feel or Reflection. So that would be cool to see. Then the next one is Be Prepared. This is based off The Lion King, and it is what if Nala was compelled to team up with Scar for a secret reason. And it is 6 months after the death of her best friend Simba. 6 months after the death of her best friend Simba, Nala finds herself clinging to the rumor that the young cub might actually be alive. But the trip to Garmamba is long and fraught with danger. It is definitely a journey her overprotective mother would not let her take. Seeking out one night, Nala finds her confidence quickly waning, while the pride is on an uproar over her disappearance. Having felt the pride's distress and dislike of him growing, Scar takes it upon himself to track the arrogant cub. Finding Nala is easier than he expected. The two travel together, uncomfortably helping one another as the perils of the wild come at them at all sides. Nala has never liked Scar, and yet finds herself having to rely on him, at least partly, to help her reach Gambara and Simba. Will that unlikely partnership form a tentative bond, or will it all be a big mistake Nala made on her young life? So yeah, this one sounds interesting, and the author, Farah Rachna, I think I'm saying that right. I really enjoyed her Twisted Tale of the movie Brave, which is Fate Be Changed. So I'm really looking forward to this one and seeing how she does a twist on The Lion King. Then we got This one, which is set in stone, it is a twisted tale on the Sword and Stone, and it is what if Arthur wasn't supposed to be king. Having pulled the sword from the stone, scrawny Arthur has gone from washing dishes to sitting on the throne at Camelot Castle. What he doesn't know is that the scheming witch, Madame Mim, used her magic to help Arthur free the sword, believing the boy would be easy to control once he has made king. When Arthur proves more capable than he imagined, Mim sends her foster daughter, Guinevere, to put Arthur back in the rightful place, washing dishes. But Arthur and Guinevere discover Mim's manipulation and forge an unlikely friendship. As they search for a way to outwit Mim and unite the kingdom, they realize that no one's fate is set in stone. So there was a podcast I listened to about a week or two ago, which I thought was funny. They were doing this book and I had already ordered it, and they say there's like a lot of fourth wall breaks in this book, so I'm a little unsure about it, but we'll see how it goes. So the last book I got that was a twisted tale from the UK is Cruel Truth. It's based off 101 Dalmatians, which when I was growing up was one of my favorite Disney movies. Don't know why. I was just, when I was really young, I really liked it. But this one I'm actually the most intrigued of, and it is what if Anita and Cruella were best friends. It's 1953 and teenage Anita Weatherby and her family have just moved to a booming post-war London. While her older sister settles right in, Anita finds their new school and her academic rival Roger daunting. Nothing seems to be growing Anita's way until a glamorous, confident new student moves to town. Stella DeVille is haughty and aloof, but surprises everyone by taking an immediate liking to Anita. Swept to the luxurious world of Stella's high-end family fashion label, Anita finds herself the anticipated star of a House of DeVille's next fashion show, where she'll be modeling a family heirloom, the Weatherby Diamond, and walking the catwalk. But when disaster strikes and the Weatherby Diamond goes missing, Anita will have to decide whom she can trust before her life goes to the dogs. So that sounds interesting, because it sounds more like a prequel than a twist on the original 101 Dalmatians story. So I am excited to see how this one plays out. And then the last two books are my birthday presents from my sister. The reason there are two is because she got me one version of the book. I guess she thought she got the wrong thing after I showed her the comic version, because I really used to like the comic version of it. So she panicked and got me the comic version of it as well. And that is the novel version of Under the Oak Tree and the comic version of Under the Oak Tree. And that is Lady Maximilian is the daughter of a powerful Duke Carrasco, but she is rarely allowed outside her family's sprawling castle for fear that her stutter will tarnish her noble name. When she is forced to marry Sir Riften, a low-born knight caught in one of her father's schemes, Maxie doesn't dare hope for happiness, let alone love. Her stumbling communication and his gruff manner sour the relationship before it can begin, and Riften leaves without a word in the morning after their vows are exchanged. Now, 3 years after their disastrous wedding night, Riften has returned as a war hero. To Max's surprise, despite rumors that he has offered marriage to the princess, a beautiful and renowned sorceress, Riften still wants Maxie to be his wife. And when he comes to claim her, his desire bewilders Maxie, even as she overcome by the scorching heat that Riften's presence ignites within her. As she learns to navigate the world of her new life, Maxie will find herself and her courage and discover that she is anything but powerless. So this is the first book in the series. There is a second book coming out soon. I think it's like November, and I really like the sprayed edges of this one. And I kind of feel like I don't want to open this or read it. I feel like I would mess it up. I feel like this is more like something that would stay up and on display on my bookshelf, because it's just like, it's so pretty. But and then you got the comic version, which is really cool. Got like full color artwork in it. It just looks so pretty. I just love it so much. I was a really big fan of this comic when it was going online, and I think it's still going, and this covers the first 24 chapters of the comic version. So yeah, I want to thank my sister. Thank you so much for both this and this. I love you so much. You didn't have to freak out and get me both versions. I wouldn't have mind having just this version. It's fine. kind of didn't know that there was a comic out of it until I told you about it and when I freaked out about it. So those are all the books that I have gotten in this book haul. I don't even want to try to pick them up. There are way too many. I'm going on a book buying ban. I gotta go on a book buying ban. And so hopefully that's the last book haul you see for quite some time. Fingers crossed. But anyway, I'll see ya.